This is a website review for My Web Programmer. First, I want to say that I really appreciate your design. I love that there's so much motion from the video, but yet your words are static. Your message needs to be clear and concise. And so one of my pet peeves is when the words actually scroll. So I really like the motion that we get from the video, but the words are static, and I just appreciate that. So well done. I also think you've done a very nice job of concisely telling anyone who visits your website within just a few seconds exactly what it is that you guys do and who you help. You are a web designer for businesses and you help them succeed. So that's very clear and very concise. As we start to scroll down your website just a little bit, I'll notice that the brand, My Web Programmer, is really being presented as the hero of the story. And a story brand, we like the brand to be the guide and the customer to be the hero. So your brand as the guide is going to guide your customer into greatness. You're going to help them win the day. You're going to help them achieve results. So in this 5-part section here, I would really like it to see it narrowed down to 3 items and not be the services that you offer, but really start to talk about the benefit that you can bring to your clients. So I would say something like results-driven products, and then the second section would say improved business outcomes, and maybe the third would be custom web, mobile, and enterprise apps, something along those lines. So it's concise and it really points to, again, the benefit that the client receives. Another suggestion I have for this section is that, again, I say over and over again to clients that people don't read websites, they scan them. So each time I point to one of these sections, it gives me a little blurb beneath, but I have to click to read more. So I would condense that small text. So whatever it is that you want to say fits just right there on the screen, and it's just real fast and easy for them to scroll through. Again, I would change the 5 service sections to 3 benefits for your customer. As we start to move down to this section, results-driven software is one of the icons that I would put up above in this section. So I would change the header on this side. So maybe just full service software development, something that again, just speaks into what it is that you guys do. As I read through this copy, again, it's all about your brand. We're your full service software. We deliver high quality. We build web and design service products. I think that you can gain a lot of traction with your clientele if you show some empathy. If you start to talk about the problem that you know your customers face, the fact that you understand it, that you can fix it, and that you can help them with it, that I think would be very, very beneficial in this section of your website. We call that the guide section, where really you're talking about the empathy that you have for the customer and the credentials and the authority that you have to be the company who fixes it for them. Another suggestion I have here is that I would be really consistent with your call to action. Up on your top right, you have request a quote. Down here, you have request a consultation. So as a customer, I might honestly be confused. It seems really simple when you guys know what you're talking about. But to an outsider, this can be confusing. Do I need a quote or do I need a consultation? Which button should I push? And so it just can be a lot more clear and concise if you're very consistent with your calls to action all the way through the site. I would also like to see more calls to action than are currently present. You might even put one here on your header section. Even though it's in the top right, I think it's good real estate, again, to place it right here in the center of your header section, and then repeatedly throughout your homepage. Case studies, I like this section. I like that instead of putting, in most cases, the brand for you put the industry instead of the brand, so that a consumer who may not know what Icon is can say, oh, that's an automotive company, and so that's who you help. Or the yacht company that I've never heard of, oh, that's who you help. So I like the way that you've put your content together here for this section. Okay, this is another section that's really hero-oriented. You are talking about yourself, 530 projects, all these hours worked, all these years in operation. Instead, I would really focus on how many clients you've served. So this is a great number, 27 different industries served. 530 projects is also a good number to talk about. But how else can you convey that, not just that you work hard and that you've been in business a long time, but that you're really serving your client and you're hitting it out of the park? There's got to be some way to communicate that in a way that makes the customer feel like they are most important, right off just from reading your website. Some of your clients, I think that's great. Again, ready to discuss your project, get a quote, request a quote, really subtle differences. But if you can stay consistent, I think that's going to help your customer really engage with you. On the footer section here, I wanted to talk about this. You've got all of your services and your technology. Basically, your entire navigation bar is right here in your footer section already. One of the things I recommend over and over again to clients is to clean the header section of your navigation up. So really, the only options that they have when they look at the header section is to request a quote and maybe look at your About Us page. Everything else is already in the footer, and customers are getting more and more acclimated to scrolling to the bottom of a website to find all the navigation information. And what that does is kind of forces their hand and makes them scroll all the way through your website and keep reading and seeing the great things that you guys are doing before they start to navigate. So because you have it all in the header, I just think this appearing just right off the bat in the header section is really confusing. So I would actually get rid of those navigation buttons and really just put your call to action and maybe just your About Us section there. So I hope you find that helpful. Thanks for letting me review your site.